All right, let's take a look at the practice test. For the instructions, we're asked to verify each identity. And for the first problem, we see we have cotangent squared theta plus 1 is equal to secant squared theta times cotangent squared theta. Now for this particular problem, I'm going to consider this side over here on the left to be more simple, and I'm going to consider this side on the right here to be more complex. Again, you could change that up if you want. In order to have an easier time with these problems, you always want to think about what's the more complicated side, and you want to manipulate that side and leave the other side alone. In some cases, you have to mess with both sides, but in this case, we won't. So what I'm going to do for formatting is just put an equal sign here, and I'm just going to manipulate this right side here. And for this type of problem, I'm just going to write things in terms of sine and cosine. So for secant squared theta, this is 1 over, we would have our cosine squared theta. Then I'm multiplying by your cotangent squared theta. I can say that's cosine squared theta over sine squared theta. So if you don't know what to do, you can write things in terms of sine and cosine and just see what's going to cancel. So this right here would cancel with this right here. And now I have 1 over sine squared theta. Now, at this point, we don't have a match, right? We have cotangent squared theta plus 1. We have 1 over sine squared theta. But if you go to your identities handout, and again, you should always be thinking about the Pythagorean identities, we have this 1 plus cotangent squared theta is equal to cosecant squared theta. Okay, what I have is this 1 over sine squared theta. Well, that is the same as cosecant squared theta, and cosecant squared theta is the same as 1 plus cotangent squared theta, or you could write it as cotangent squared theta plus 1, whatever you want to do. So I'll put this as cotangent squared theta plus 1, and we verified our identity. So I like to put a little check mark when I'm done, but of course that's not necessary. All right, let's take a look at the second problem. So here we have secant squared theta over sine squared theta, and this is going to be equal to 1 plus the cotangent squared theta over the cosine squared theta. So I'm going to consider, again, this guy on the left to be more simple and the guy on the right to be more complex. So let me format this way. I'll put equals here. And for 1 plus cotangent squared theta, we just saw in the last problem that can be replaced with cosecant squared theta. If you come down to, again, the Pythagorean identities, 1 plus cotangent squared theta is equal to cosecant squared theta. So let's go ahead and make that replacement. So I'll say this is cosecant squared theta over cosine squared theta. Now at this point, you don't have a match, so you think about what else you can do. I know that cosecant squared theta can be written as 1 over sine squared theta. So I can say that this is 1 over sine squared theta, and I'm going to multiply this by 1 over cosine squared theta. Now, if you look over here, you can see that you're getting somewhere because you have sine squared theta in the denominator here, and you have it here. But I need to get secant squared theta up here, and remember, 1 over cosine squared theta is the same as secant squared theta, and this is going to go off the screen, but we'll say that this is 1 over sine squared theta times, for this one, I'm going to say this is secant squared theta. And so now you have an exact match. So we can say that this is secant squared theta over sine squared theta. And again, I'm just going to put my little check mark here to show that I'm done. All right, for problem 3, we have 1 plus tangent squared x is equal to secant cubed x times cosine of x. All right, for this one, I'm going to leave, again, the guy on the left unchanged. Let me put this equals over here so I have enough room to work. If you see something like this, I would convert it and say that this is secant squared x times the secant of x times the cosine of x. Now, before you do anything with this, I want you to realize that secant of x times cosine of x, that's going to cancel and become 1. Let me write this out so that nobody's lost. So I'm going to put secant squared x again, and then times, for the secant of x, you could write that as 1 over the cosine of x, and then you have your cosine of x there. You could write that over 1 if you wanted to, and I'm just going to cancel this with this. So at the end of the day, you just have your secant squared x. Now, we have this 1 plus tangent squared x that we're trying to get a match on. Again, if you go back to your identities, tangent squared theta plus 1 equals secant squared theta. So we're basically good to go. We can just replace this and say it's tangent squared x plus 1, or 1 plus tangent squared x. So let's put 1 plus tangent squared x, and we have a match. So we'll put a check mark there, and we're done. All right, let's take a look at problem number 4. So here we have our cosecant squared x over cosine squared x. This is equal to secant squared x plus cosecant squared x. All right, so again, I'm going to consider this right side here to be more complicated. Let me scroll down here. You might want to write this down because this is definitely going to go off the screen. The first thing I'm going to do for this problem is write in terms of sine and cosine. So secant squared x, that's 1 over cosine squared x. Then plus for cosecant squared x, that's 1 over sine squared x. Now, when you get something like this, typically you would want to get a common denominator and combine these two. So let me slide this down just a little bit so I can fit that in. So I'm going to multiply this by sine squared x over sine squared x. And I'm going to multiply this by cosine squared x over cosine squared x. So what is this going to give me? In the numerator, you would have sine squared x plus your cosine squared x. And this is over the common denominator of cosine squared x times sine squared x. Now we know from the Pythagorean identities that sine squared x plus cosine squared x equals 1. So coming back here again, sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta equals 1. So let me come down here and say that this is going to be 1 over cosine squared x times sine squared x. Now, we are trying to get cosecant squared x over cosine squared x. That's pretty easy to do. I'm just going to break this up so it's more clear for you. This is 1 over cosine squared x times 1 over sine squared x. Now, 1 over sine squared x can be replaced with cosecant squared x. So basically, all we'd have to do to finish this up is say that this is 1 over cosine squared x times cosecant squared x. And then we'll say that this is cosecant squared x over cosine squared x. And I know we can't see it, it's off the page, but basically we verified our identity. All right, let's take a look at problem 5. So we have tangent squared theta plus 1 is equal to tangent of theta times secant of theta times cosecant of theta. All right, I'm going to leave this side again on the left unchanged. Let me write this equals all the way over here so I have some room. So I'm just going to write things in terms of sine and cosine. Let me put this down here. So for tangent of theta, that is sine of theta over cosine of theta. And then for secant of theta, that's 1 over cosine of theta. And then for cosecant of theta, that's 1 over sine of theta. So I know that this will cancel with this. And what I have here is 1 over cosine squared theta. Now, 1 over cosine squared theta can be replaced with the secant squared theta. And we know that secant squared theta is equal to tangent squared theta plus 1. Coming back to the Pythagorean identities, you have tangent squared theta plus 1 is equal to secant squared theta. So I'll just replace this with tangent squared theta plus 1, and I'll put a little check mark to show that I'm done. All right, for problem 6, we have cosecant squared theta minus 1 is equal to cosecant squared theta times cosine squared theta. So this one's really easy. I'm just going to leave the left side alone. So let me put this as equals here. And I'm going to think about cosecant squared theta as 1 over sine squared theta. And this is times cosine squared theta. So if you have cosine squared theta over sine squared theta, that's cotangent squared theta. So let's just write this as cotangent squared theta. And we know that we have this identity here. 1 plus cotangent squared theta is equal to cosecant squared theta. So let me write that out. So 1 plus cotangent squared theta is equal to cosecant squared theta. So if you're doing a problem like this and you have something that doesn't exactly match what you need, just write it out and see if you can manipulate it. So I want to end up with cosecant squared theta minus 1. So if I subtract 1 away from each side, then basically you'll see that I have something where I can replace cotangent squared theta with this cosecant squared theta minus 1, which is exactly what I need. So I'm just going to get rid of this and slide this down here like that for formatting and put equals here, and we're done. All right, so we showed that this side, the cosecant squared theta minus 1, is the same as this side, cosecant squared theta minus 1. All right, for problem 7, we have cosine squared x is equal to cotangent of x over cotangent of x plus tangent of x. So for this one, I think it's crystal clear that the right side is more complicated. Let me put equals over here so I have some room. I'm just going to write in terms of sine and cosine and just see where that gets me. So the cotangent of x would be the cosine of x over the sine of x. And I'll put this over. Again, for the cotangent of x, that's the cosine of x over the sine of x. Then plus for the tangent of x, that's the sine of x over the cosine of x. Okay, this is going to get cut off, so you might want to note that this is cosine squared x that we're trying to match. So let's come down here. Let's think about this. And let me actually move this down here so the formatting looks a little bit cleaner. I would think about this as a complex fraction. And if you think about all the denominators, you have a denominator of the sine of x, and then the sine of x again, and the cosine of x. So the LCD there would be the cosine of x times the sine of x. So let's multiply the numerator of the complex fraction by the sine of x times the cosine of x, and the denominator of the complex fraction by the sine of x times the cosine of x. So this gets distributed here, and you can see that the sine of x's would cancel, and so what you would have is cosine squared x. Then this guy goes here, and you would have your sine of x cancel with your sine of x. So you have cosine of x times cosine of x, so that's cosine squared x. And then plus, this guy gets distributed here, the cosine of x's cancel, and now you have sine squared x. Now, this is interesting because we know that cosine squared x plus sine squared x is 1. So you can basically say this is cosine squared x over 1, which is just going to be cosine squared x, which is what we were looking for. So I'm just going to put a check mark there to show that I'm done. All right, let's take a look at problem number 8. So we have the sine of x over the cosecant of x. This is going to be equal to the tangent of x over the tangent of x plus the cotangent of x. All right, so just like in the last problem, what I'll do, I'm working on the right side here. I'm just going to write this in terms of sine and cosine and just see where that gets me. So I'll say that tangent of x is the sine of x over the cosine of x. Let me move this over here just a little bit for the formatting. So then the tangent of x, again, this is the sine of x over the cosine of x. And then the cotangent of x, that's going to be the cosine of x over the sine of x. Okay, so again, we have a complex fraction. So think about the LCD. You have cosine of x, and sine of x for the denominators. So the LCD there is the cosine of x times the sine of x. So I'll have cosine of x times the sine of x over the cosine of x times the sine of x. So I'm going to move this in here. And then basically the cosine of x's would cancel. So you get sine squared x over. Bring this in here. Cosine of x would cancel. You would have sine squared x, so sine squared x, and then plus, this is going to go here, and so sine of x would cancel. You would have cosine squared x. So just like in the last problem, we have the sine squared x plus cosine squared x. We know that's 1. So let's go ahead and say this is sine squared x. You could put over 1, you could just leave this. Now this isn't what we want. We want sine of x over cosecant of x. What you'd want is to break this up into the sine of x times the sine of x. Now we know that the sine of x is the same as 1 over the cosecant of x. So just take one of these and say this is 1 over the cosecant of x times the sine of x, and then we'll just write this as the sine of x over the cosecant of x, and we're done. All right, let's take a look at problem number 9. So here we have 1 over sine of theta is equal to sine of theta times your quantity cotangent squared theta plus 1. So for this one, it's very easy. I'm going to again work on the right side. Cotangent squared theta plus 1, I think you know at this point that that is cosecant squared theta. Again, going back, you can see that 1 plus cotangent squared theta is equal to cosecant squared theta. So I'll just say that this is the sine of theta times your cosecant squared theta. So I'm trying to match this here. It's going to be pretty easy to do. So I'm just going to say this is the sine of theta times, I'm just going to write this as 1 over sine squared theta. And essentially, this right here would cancel with one of these, right? You can even make this more clear by writing this as sine of theta times sine of theta like that, if it's a struggle for you to understand. You can cancel that, and now you just have your 1 over sine of theta that you're trying to match here. So let me put equals. I'll put 1 over sine of theta, and then I'll just go ahead and put a check mark to show that we're done. All right, let's take a look at problem 10. So here we have cotangent squared theta over 1 plus cosecant of theta is equal to 1 minus sine of theta over the sine of theta. All right, so for this one, I'm going to have the left side and the right side be equal to a common third expression. So I'm going to flip this for right now because in this particular case, as it stands right now, this side right here on the left is more complicated. And the way I like the format, I like what I'm manipulating on the right. So I'm just going to write this as 1 minus the sine of theta over the sine of theta. And this equals your cotangent squared theta over 1 plus cosecant of theta. Now, there's a lot of ways to attack this side right here. The simplest way I've found, if you come to your little handout and you think about the cotangent squared theta, well, that's the same as cosecant squared theta minus 1, right? So I'm just subtracting 1 away from each side there. So let me replace that with cosecant squared theta minus 1. Okay, so I'm replacing this with this. Let me put my equals here. So this is over 1 plus cosecant of theta. So you might ask why I did that. And basically, what's going to end up happening here, if you think about this, you have a squared minus b squared. So remember this formula. This factors into a plus b times a minus b. So if you factor this, you're going to be able to cancel here. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. So this would factor into your cosecant of theta plus 1, then times cosecant of theta minus 1. So let's put this over. You have 1 plus cosecant of theta. You could write that as cosecant of theta plus 1 if you wanted to. And I'm just going to cancel this with this. And now I have cosecant of theta minus 1. Let me come down here and just say that this is cosecant of theta minus 1. So at this point, I'm going to stop and I'm just going to copy this. I'm going to come to another sheet and I'm just going to put this in the middle. So let me put equals here and I'm going to write cotangent squared theta over 1 plus cosecant of theta. So what I'll do now is write 1 minus the sine of theta over your sine of theta. And then I'm going to flip this and write cosecant of theta minus 1 is equal to 1 minus the sine of theta over the sine of theta. So this won't be so bad to get this side to match this side now. So for this one, I'm going to split it up into 1 over the sine of theta minus the sine of theta over the sine of theta. And we know that 1 over the sine of theta is the cosecant of theta. So that's this part right here. And then minus sine of theta over sine of theta. Well, that's going to be 1. So now I have cosecant of theta minus 1 and cosecant of theta minus 1. So we're basically good to go there. So I'm just going to copy this part right here and come up here and paste this in, and I'll put equals over here. So this is one way that you could format it. There's different ways, but basically I'm showing that these two original guys that I started with are equal to this common third expression. So let me just put a check mark here to show that we're done.